Hello everyone, good morning, and I hope you're all doing fine. And Srebmi, the point of having a star is it means you have my eternal love, appreciation, and support. Unfortunately, the YouTube algorithm, being its magical algorithm that it is like, still makes channel members watch ads, unfortunately. For those who don't know what she's talking about, Srebmi has a star, a channel star, which is awesome and appreciated and all those things, but she still has to watch ads, which I am sorry for. If I could change it, I would. But that said, good morning, everyone. That's not true. Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 o'clock over here, Eastern Standard Time. I'm still having a coffee and all that, because why would I not? But this is a Q&A and all that stuff. We do indeed have Ponchoed Alex again. I wanted a poncho. I just did. Stacy, that you have to become a channel member to become a star. There should be a little thing, become a member. It does cost you money every month. I apologize for that, but you get a star. How much do you miss Meg and Devin? Let me take some coffee first and I'll answer that. So, for those who don't know, basically, when I first went full-time with YouTube, I don't know why I'm closing this, I'm going to be having more shortly. When I first went full-time with YouTube, when I first went full-time with YouTube, I started doing live Q&As every single week. And then I did that for a bit, and then there's no problem. And then once I brought Meg and Devin on, I replaced the live Q&A with the weekly live show. This week, Meg was not available. She's currently traveling, and to that end, I was like, hey, Devin, I know you're pretty cool and all that stuff, but it's been a while since I did a Q&A, so we're going to do a Q&A instead, because that way you can answer questions and actually focus and chat in a way that I really enjoy doing that I don't do quite as much when we're on the weekly live show. So, to that end, we now have Q&As coming in, and apparently they're all about Meg and Devin. That's okay. How much do you miss Meg and Devin? Not that much. It's nothing personal. I like them both a lot, but I also talk to them both daily. So, I talked to Devin this morning already. Well, I WhatsApped Devin this morning. I called him twice yesterday. I've already texted Meg. So, I'm not, I talk to them both daily. We communicate daily. I streamed with Meg last night over on Camp Co-op. So there's not a lot of missing going on. I appreciate their company, and that's what it comes down to. We have Srebmi. What is Devin's favorite color? I have to assume a light turquoise blue. What is Meg's favorite deck builder? I'm going to go with Ascension. That one I'm actually a bit more confident on. I might still be wrong, but I believe her favorite deck builder is Ascension. Whatever happened with you and Quacklope? David Scholl, oh my gosh, I love getting this question. That's not true, I don't love getting this question. I get this question maybe once every thing. First of all, this is Q&A. I did say ask me anything. I meant ask me anything. What happened to me and Quacklope? Nothing happened to me and Quacklope. We still talk. I believe I went to his house twice 2 days ago. We still talk, we still see each other, we still interact. We do fewer videos together. For a while, I would say this goes back several months, but for a while there was a kind of a branching approach to the types of content we were doing, and it felt like less and less of a natural fit as far as the types of collaborations we were doing. And so we kind of started drifting a bit as far as how often we do videos together, and it's just happens to have been a while since we did the last one. I'm sure you'll see a video with us together at some point in the future. We just do videos less together. We still interact, we're still friends, all good things there. Where are we here? I think I lost the question. What happened to you and Quacklope? And I answer this the same. I give the same answer to every comment whenever it pops up. It's all good there. Ryan Gilmore, afternoon everyone. Happy to be here. Bad at board games. Glad you're a solo today. I appreciate that. Bad at board games. I do. Stacy Everdell, mixing it up, Alex. I like it. Yeah, I just try to. I wanted to. When I first got rid of the Q&A, I said it would stay. I said the Q&A would be back infrequently. I think a Q&A every week is a little boring. I mean, no offense to the Dice Tower. The much larger audience, a QA has. He can't get to everything, so doing it every week makes sense. For myself, doing it every week was getting a little static, and so now it's just an opportunity to throw the QA in here and there. Mike James, when are you going to get Anachrony Trickterion to the table? Also, Anachrony is an alpha on BGA, so quicker if it's an alpha on BGA. Stacy, is the poncho fetish a new thing or an old favorite? Stacy, the poncho thing started, so this was a trip to Devon's. My last trip to Devon's, which was in December. At one point, I was browsing, as I've given the story, so I'm going to jump straight to it very quickly. I was browsing through Udis, because I saw an ad for Udis on Facebook, and Foster the Meeple loves Udis, and I was like, I'll click on that. And then the Udi was like $70, and I was like, or $90 or something. It was not cheap, and I was like, I don't care about the Udi that much. It doesn't even look that good. It just looks comfortable, but not good. Then, because Facebook did its thing, I started to get ads for dozens of different types of things that are warm and fluffy and cover your body, including these ponchos. And the ponchos, I was like, those I like the look of. And so I bought a bunch of ponchos. Was I drinking that night? No comments. Did I buy them that night? No. I waited a bit to make sure that, Alex was properly sure of what he wanted to buy. And I like the ponchos. I wear them occasionally. They go on multiple times a week. Do you join any Lacerda games? Ooh, fun question there. Okay, what are your favorite? We're going to come back to that question because I'm going in order. Eric, have you watched The Last of Us? Not yet, and to make it worse, Eric, I haven't played The Last of Us. I know people love it. I'm sure I'll like it. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's on HBO. We'll give it a shot at some point, but I have not yet watched The Last of Us. Adam, I'm excited for the new Star Wars deck building game. I don't know anything about it, but I'm excited for it now. Oli, what are your favorite push your luck games? My favorite push your luck games are going to be Can't Stop and Can't Stop for sure, and then probably Captain Carcass, which goes by a few names, but Captain Carcass I quite like. Arski, hey Alex, love the content, glad to catch you live. Thanks for being here. Paradox416, do you enjoy any Lacerda games? Why is my volume on? Was my volume on? No, not maybe not. Paradox416, do you enjoy any Lacerda games? I enjoyed Lisboa. Also, for the record, there's going to be a large giveaway on the channel very shortly where I give away every Lacerda game I own, which is Lacerda on Mars, not Lacerda, which is Lisboa on Mars, the Gallerist, Escape Plan, Kanban EV, and Vinhos. All 6 of them are going to be given away on the channel very, very shortly. The video's probably going up next week if I had to guess, or the week after, I don't know. But it's not because I don't enjoy them, it's because for me, well, it's a combination of two things. First of all, I like doing large giveaways here and there because they're fun, and they, push subs and growth and all that stuff, and it's also an opportunity to give back, both things combined. And then additionally, why the Lacerda games? Well, the Lacerda games specifically because of the fact that I find from the Lacerda games I've played that I like them a lot, but I think the rules overhead to the mental load, I'd rather play a Splotter game, at least as of right now. I generally prefer lighter Euros, medium to heavyweight Euros like Stefan Feld or Martin Wallace. That tends to be my go-to genre of Euro. And then if I want something a little more complicated, I like Splotters right now. It's not that I don't like Lacerdas, it's that I think Lacerdas are the kind of games that I need to fall in love with at conventions or friends' houses and eventually get them back. But for right now, I have 6 giant Lacerda boxes taking up space, and I'm not really playing them. Okay. David Schill, thanks for the answer on the shout-out. I miss seeing you guys together. Yeah, I assume there'll be more videos with us. Again, we like each other. We will hang out. We will interact. There should be videos. It's just different approaches to the content and just the frequency of the types of videos we were doing. It just drifted. It drifted from, doing a ton to, doing a little bit, and it just happens to have been a while since the last one. It almost happened this week. Board Game Dave was in town. I almost went over there. I was just too busy when there was an overlap. There was almost going to be, a full crossover there. All Norn, I would love to see a top 10 push your luck list. I'd have to go through the games that have push your luck as a mechanic. Games that are pure push your luck, that's more Captain Carcass and Can't Stop for me. I don't have a ton that I love. Ooh, I love No Thanks. That arguably has push your luck. I do love No Thanks. No Thanks and Coloretto are actually 2 fantastic games. So there's 2 kinds of push your luck. There's push your luck against the game, and there's push your luck against the person. So for instance, Can't Stop, you're rolling dice, you roll dice, and then you keep pushing your luck, but you're doing it against the game. You're not doing it against the other person, there's no interaction. You're both racing, but it's separately. Then there's pushing your luck against the other person, which I arguably like more. And bidding is almost inherently a form of push your luck against the other person, almost. But in the case of No Thanks, for example, you are pushing your luck, but you're pushing your luck against how far you can push the player, so it's more dynamic. It's not about the odds, it's about the interaction. So both Coloretto and No Thanks have excellent push your luck. I don't know if they're officially push your luck. I think of them as push your luck. Vikamadi V, can you comment on the Monarch game table? It wasn't the last 2 back or not to back, and I'm trying to decide whether I should get that out of the Wormwoods. Is it the Monarch or is it the Dragons Den? What was it? It was I think I know the table you're talking about. I was actually supposed to get that table. I believe they're sending it to me at some point. Basically, they sent it on a ship to me and it got too late, it got delayed. So I was supposed to cover it for their Kickstarter and it'll show up. Maybe in time for late pledge and things. So I will have the Monarch game table and I will be able to comment on it, but not right now. Past that, we have, and I will be doing a 2 back and not to back on it next week. I didn't even realize it launched this week, so we'll talk about it next week. Jonathan Saint, what are you most excited about from Marvel United Multiverse launching later today? Any characters you want to see? No. Not in particular. I'm excited for more content in general, but here's the problem with Marvel United, and I love Marvel United, don't get me wrong, but first of all, I like the new equipment card system. I do enjoy that. You've already seen that in the gameplay I had on the channel, both the solo and the non-solo gameplay. Sorry, I jabbed myself earlier today, and I'm just looking at my cut here. Not while juggling knives. Juggling knives, I'm fine. Anyways, going back to Marvel United, so I like the new solo mode, I like the new equipment, I definitely will be excited for the various content that they have. I'm sure I'll like the Galactus mode. I recently played through Sinister Six as well as Infinity Wars, and when Devin visits next, we're going to be diving into all the X-Men modes, so I like a lot of stuff going on in Marvel United, but the more characters, I'm at the point where I have boxes and boxes full of characters. Do I really care if I have this Loki and that Spider-Man? I mean, I like it, but the problem is the characters in Marvel United aren't distinguished enough differently, even with the equipment, even with the starting hand cards. It's not different enough that I'm excited for a character. I'll take it. I want more. Am I super excited? No. I like the villains more. The villains being a lot of differences at the table, and the various game modes will be exciting, but actual characters, not quite as much. Dun, dun, dun. I love the content, by the way. Appreciate it. Omega Rocker. Hi, Alex. How are things at GameFan going? Going great. This morning I had 5 calls with like a whole bunch of creators. My favorite part about being at GameFound is I get the opportunity to talk to other creators in the space more often. And by creators, I mean like companies. So I get to talk to companies that I like, company whose content I enjoy and all that. So I just like the ability to be able to continue to find more ways to interact with other people that make games. I find games cool, and talking to them is a fun opportunity. Profit. I'm so excited about going to Origins this year. Is there any benefit to going to Origins convention on the first day versus the weekend? I would say the first day of most conventions is a little dead, arguably speaking. But if you have FOMO, you should still go for the first day, because otherwise you're gonna see pictures from people and you're gonna be like, I'm missing out. But if you don't have FOMO, you can probably skip the first day. I hope to be at Origins this year. There's a chance I don't go. The Unemployed Lawyer, George, whose stream should I watch right now? Yours or Devin's? Well, obviously mine. Is that even really a question? I didn't realize Devin was doing his today. I think I missed that. So me, The Unemployed Lawyer, I have Alex on my laptop and Devin on my phone. So both? Devin's playing a video game. Does that even count as like a stream? I don't think so. We have Juan. What led you... No, we have Unemployed Lawyer. I have both on different monitors and Discord on the laptop. Juan, what led you to finally get Brazil Imperial despite similarities with Scythe? Juan, so the short answer is, first of all, Brazil looks cool. I'm pulled in by the art. Also, I like Scythe. I don't love Scythe, but I like Scythe. I think Scythe is a good game that I happen to not fall in love with. Depending on the changes Brazil makes, it'll either be a good game that I move on from, or it'll be a good game that I fall in love with. But I'm pretty confident it'll be a good game, and that already has me interested. I want to try all the good games. I should be careful that I already knocked something over. There's a video going up this week where I knocked over a beverage for the first time on this table. I'm not happy about it. But that's going to be the top 2023 games that we're looking forward to. Robbie Senger, this stream needs more swordplay. I respect that. There's been plenty of swordplay and knife juggling and all those things recently. Stacy, the Unemployed Lawyer, that's the way to do it. Clearly need more monitors. Yes, you do. Srebme, why is Meg so freaking amazing? What's wrong with Devin? Can we please get that on a cup? Ninimir, yeah, more occasions to get games. I'll have problems to get to the table. That's true. Robert, what game do you have in your collection that you are the only person who likes it? Ooh, Robert. The answer is going to be... Oh, I guess it has to be a solo game. So almost inherently it has to be a solo game, because if I'm the only person who likes it, then it's not going to get tabled and I get rid of it. Merchant's Cove is a great example of that. I really enjoyed Merchant's Cove. The problem is the people I played it with in my game group were all okay with it. And so while it's not a bad thing, they're just not going to choose it when I give them the options of what to play at game night. And so Merchant's Cove wasn't getting played, and so I got rid of it. So the game that in my collection that I'm the only person who likes it almost has to be a solo game. And now the question is, for my solo games, for the ones I can think of that I really enjoy, I don't know if there are any games that are solo that I'm the only person who enjoys. The Loop, I know Devin likes, Meg likes, Kiva likes, AP, if you've seen him in videos. Because the problem is half the people in my game group you don't know, so I'm going to mention the people you do. Ost1, Devin loves. Spirit Island, everyone loves. Terraforming Mars, everyone loves. Mage Knife, everyone loves. And when I say everyone, I don't mean everyone, I just mean a lot of people. Is there a solo game that I like? There's a bunch that I like that people haven't played. Does that count? I don't know. I don't really keep games that aren't going to get tabled, so it's going to be a very specific answer. Okay. Srebme, which stream are you listening to? Well, obviously me. He's streaming a video game. Paradox416, is Eric Lang still your favorite designer? Was he ever my favorite designer? I don't think he was ever my favorite designer, but understand that I'm saying that with the context that I don't know if I ever had or have a favorite designer. I have designers that I like because of their games I have a high overlap with. I will answer that question a bit more, but I'll say that. So Stefan Feld, like a lot of his games. Martin Wallace, like a lot of his games. Uwe Rosenberg, I like a lot of his games. There are definitely designers that I definitely resonate with and appeal to. What's the other Command guy? The one who did Rum and Bones. Michael Chanel, definitely like his stuff. Eric Lang, I will say the thing that has changed is I liked a lot of his games, and he has shifted towards making a lot more lighter games, and so that has meant that I have had a lower overlap of games that I like from Eric Lang. But I don't know if he's ever my favorite designer. Dun dun dun. Ali Guru, I love playing No Thanks. That's fair. Unemployed Lawyer, I have both them playing. That's chaos and madness, and I approve of it. Richard L, what was your biggest disappointments of 2022 in board gaming? Richard, I have a full video talking about this. A full video. We can go over that. Francisco, what's the reasoning you used to pick the games that stay behind you on the shelves? Francisco, great question. So, the reasoning is twofold. Also, I have an empty cubby. I need to fix that. This is where the Lacerda games were, so I need to fix that, put a new game there. The reasoning is pretty simple. I should put Frosthaven in there. Maybe. The games that go behind me on the shelf have a combination of two attributes. The first is that they are games that I like, and the three attributes. They're games that I like, they are games that are shiny, meaning they have a degree of, like, you know, hype or buzz or appeal to them. And then the third, and I've answered this before, but the third is that because of the fact that I want the games to look like this, and I also don't want to forget what games are behind them, they are often big box games where the thing behind them is more of that game. So for example, if we pull Tainted Grail off the shelf, there's more Tainted Grail behind it. That's the main thing that I'm looking for with these games, because, so let's say Clash of Cultures, that has Monumental behind it. Because I don't have enough big box games to have them all have this. But I don't like that because that means that I am prone to forgetting that Monumental exists when I'm looking at what game to play. So they're usually games that I specifically want to have enough content that I can have the same game behind it. So I have more, well actually I have V Commandos behind Marvel Zombies Battle Change. I have more Undead or Alive behind there. I have more Destinies behind Destinies. I have more Arena behind Arena. I have more Rum and Bones behind Rum and Bones. More Zombicide behind Zombicide. As much as possible, I try that. I'd say about 70% have that, and a few of them have other games behind them. All in all, which hero are you most excited to play in Marvel Zombies? I don't know. They are all of them. I don't like have that like a character affinity as much. Stefan Werder, what area control games are you most looking forward to that will be coming out this year? I don't know what's coming out. Galactic Renaissance from Matago. I assume that's area control. Clain Shalon, I just discovered Lords of Hellas and I'm wondering if your thoughts have changed on the game over time. Lords of Hellas. So my thoughts on the game have only changed in the sense that I prefer Lords of Ragnarok to Lords of Hellas. I imagine Lords of Hellas leaves my collection. Also, I don't know where it is. Where's Lords of Hellas? Huh. Now I'm wondering where I have it. It should be somewhere here. I imagine Lords of Hellas leaves my collection because I like Lords of Ragnarok more, but I kind of want to have them both in my collection at the same time before I make that decision officially. Mike James, what Zombicide are you playing, Marvel or Undead or Alive? Which of the two are your preference? This is controversial, okay? Right now, Undead or Alive. Right now, Undead or Alive is my preference. The brutality of it is so good. I like the Marvel IP more, but the balance of that answer is that I prefer playing as the heroes in Zombicide, Marvel Zombies, as opposed to playing as the zombie heroes. The zombie hero system and the devouring, I didn't enjoy just as much. I like the power system much more, and so I am more inclined to, like, I think I'll have an answer on Marvel Zombies, a much better answer, when it officially shows up and with all the goodies and all the stuff. Until then, it's kind of up in the air, but both of them are great. Both of them are brutal. For right now, Undead or Alive gets the win a drop because of how tightly mean it is. Sebastian, good day, Alex. Great poncho. Thank you. I appreciate it. You too. Well, to the good day. I assume you're not wearing a poncho, just statistically speaking. Nidamir PL. The big question is, how many sleeve packs should I buy from GameFound? So, I assume you're referring to the Sleeve Kings campaign, and the answer is 500,000. Well, not that many. That seems like too many. So, I would say that right now, the Sleeve Kings campaign over on GameFound is currently their last time it'll be this low. They said they're raising the MSRP after this, which means it is your last chance to get in at this current price, assuming that holds true. In which case, I would say you want to take a look at your collection and think about what you need. So, for example, I have purchased Sleeve Kings once. That's not true, that's a lie. I have purchased Sleeve Kings mostly once. When they first had their campaign, I jumped into it and I bought about $500 worth of sleeves. That's around 50,000 sleeves for those keeping track. And those 50,000 sleeves lasted me for 3.5 years. More than that, 4 years almost. I think whenever the campaign started, yeah, it's gotta be like 4 or 5 years now. It's been a while. Now, I have run out of 2 or 3 of those sleeves from the different types, because I basically made an estimate, got a whole bunch. Some of them I overestimated and I still have plenty and they'll last me for a long time. Some of the more common ones I've burned through because I use so many sleeves. And so I've had to occasionally buy a handful of extra packs to balance out that loss, but I plan on buying a bunch of the packs that I know from experience now that I go through. I'll probably spend another $250 filling myself up for the next 3-4 years. So it depends on how much you go through, but there are good sleeves and a good price point. Sebastian, I agree Devin's cheating. Devin's definitely cheating. There's no way a live video game stream counts. Unemployed lawyer, the number cannot be quantified. The limit does not exist. We're talking about sleeves? Yes, excellent. T2. Okay, Alex, are you going all in on Season 3, right? I don't want to talk about it, but yes, I am going all in on Season 3. I assume I'm going all in on Season 3 for Marvel United. I like the system. I like it a lot. I play it with everyone. I play with my kids. I play with my friends. I play the solo now. I enjoy the game. Do I need more content? Absolutely not. Still gonna get it. Unemployed lawyer. Alex, is that Starbucks good or just okay? I haven't seen that bottle before. Funny you ask. It's just okay. It's barely okay at that. I considered throwing it out. Like, I opened it yesterday, started it, and was like, I don't want this coffee. I'm gonna make my own coffee. And then I was like, do I throw out coffee? I feel like throwing out coffee is a bad thing. And so I decided to keep the coffee and have it today as an extra coffee, because you shouldn't throw out coffee. But I'm not impressed by this one. So there goes that. Paradox, what's your favorite game designed by Shem Phillips? I don't think I like the games designed by Shem Phillips. My favorite Garphill Games game is going to be Hadrian's Wall. I think Architects of the West Kingdom is probably my favorite in his series. But they're all, when I say I don't like them, I don't mean that. They're all okay to me. I enjoy them all. I don't need to keep them. I am absolutely in the minority. Mike James, must be drinking Starbucks due to a lack of Tim Hortons availability. Obviously, yes, well, there's definitely a lack of Tim Hortons here because I'm in Cleveland, which doesn't have Tim Hortons. Stelios, what is your best dungeon crawler board game? Probably Zombicide. I mean, it definitely counts as a dungeon crawler, right? I have to assume it fits the dungeon crawler mentality. Or Arena of the Contest. Ooh, Arena of the Contest is so good. No, Cthulhu Left May Die. What am I talking about? Cthulhu Left May Die. Obviously, that's a dungeon crawler. And it's my favorite one. It's my second highest game of all time. So Cthulhu Left May Die. Speaking of, do you know any board games that leverage the open gaming license? I'm curious if Wizards of the Coast decision to try to revoke the LGL will have an impact in the board game industry. I actually don't, and that's an excellent question. Speaking of, I've been seeing TTRPG publishers use crowdfunding already, delaying releases due to the situation. Yeah, it's a mess. It is a mess right now. Robbie Sanger, what's the next Kickstarter delivery you're really excited for? Marvel Zombies Fish. Ooh, Arena of the Contest. I believe I just got a shipping notification. Arena of the Contest should be showing up soon. To be clear, I think it's an early content creator copy, so do not expect your shipping notification just in case. I don't want to get you excited unnecessarily. They are starting to ship, and I think my copy is coming a bit early, and so Arena of the Contest is definitely one that I am incredibly excited for. Let's see. Okay, what's the next Kickstarter delivery? Marvel Ed, do you think they will add skirmish rules? What's skirmish rules? Like head-to-head? Didn't they add a team mode? Like, they added a team mode already. What do you mean by skirmish rules? Richard L. Boarding & Co. Oh my god, I totally missed the video with Devin about disappointments. Yeah, Richard, I did top 10 disappointments of 2022 with Devin. We both went over stuff and talked about games. The Duke of Fall. See any good movies lately? Well, I'm about to watch, the Glass, what's it called? Knives Out, the Glass Onion or whatever it's called. I'm about to watch that tonight, so that should hopefully be good. I did watch Black Adam recently. Horribly disappointed by it. It was bad. It was like bad. DC needs a major reboot, although Henry Cavill should be in it. Henry Cavill. You have to say it correctly. Cavill. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, Black Adam was not great. What's the last good movie I watched? I liked Thor 3. I do like Thor 3. It wasn't standout great. Anything else I watched recently? I enjoyed Wednesday. Does that count? It's not a movie, it's a TV show. I enjoyed Wednesday quite a bit. Let's see, where are we up to next? Paradox 416, Unmatched or Dice Throne? Definitely Dice Throne, I don't like Unmatched. Blue Squirrel, what are your thoughts on Andromeda's Edge? How does it compare to Eclipse? How does it compare to Eclipse, Twilight Imperium, or Gaia Project? Well, it compares to Dwellings of Eldervale. It's basically Dwellings of Eldervale 2.0, as far as the game. It's the basic core mechanics and then some differences. So, like, it's kind of like having one Zombicide versus another. Same core elements, but sure, there's differences. I liked Andromeda's Edge more than I liked Dwellings of Eldervale, but still probably not enough to back it. As far as comparing it to Eclipse, Twilight Imperium, or Gaia Project, I haven't played Twilight Imperium. I don't think it's that comparable to Eclipse or Gaia Project. Gaia Project's like a heavy Euro, totally different genre. Richard O. Sleeves I find I get most to use the most are Standard, Mini Euro, and Chimera. Interesting. I use Standard, Mini Euro. What's the 87 times, like, there's 87 times whatever. I can't remember I have some over there, but whatever. There's a bunch that I use. The light green pack. The light green pack from Sleeve Kings is one that I use quite a bit. Paradox 416. Does Wonderland's War deserve all the hype it's been getting? That's a hard answer. I think Wonderland's War is excellent. I also think it drags a bit. I think that the gameplay experience is a little longer, and I said this in my review. I think that the gameplay experience is a little... I always feel self-conscious. I always have to throw that. I'm like, I said this in my review, because otherwise I'll get rid of it in 2 months, and people are like, you said you loved it. No, I really like it. I gave it 4 out of 5. It's a 4 out of 5 in the area control genre, at least as of right now. It might go higher. But it's a 4 to 5 in the area control genre, and the area control genre is one in which I have 4.5s and 5s, so it's fighting for a tough spot. Which means right now Wonderland's War is both a game that I really enjoy and want to play more, and also one that might leave unless we can get that time down. Because I find that Wonderland's War does go a little slower than I would like. When I play Rurik, when I play Blood Rage, when I play Inish, the game is amazing and doesn't feel too long. When I play Wonderland's War, the game is amazing and feels too long. And anything that feels too long will eventually leave if that can't be optimized around my play group. So I really like Wonderland's War. I think it's excellent. I really enjoy it. I really recommend it. But it feels a bit too long. Let's see. Where are we up to? What about Witcher Old World? Not up to there. Okay, Ross. Did anyone ever win Crimson Scales from the giveaway contest video from October and November? Yes. The Crimson Scales was given away a while ago. I shipped that off, I don't even know how long ago. Yeah, I shipped that off quite a bit ago. Patrick. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a second copy of Crimson Scales. I was giving away a copy of Crimson. So the way it worked is Crimson Scales, I got a early content creator copy. And I basically was like, I felt bad because like people are waiting for their copies. This is a good game to give away. But when the creator of Crimson Scales, and I'll pick it up later, and when the creator of Crimson Scales saw that I gave it away, he's like, okay, great, I'll get you another copy down the road. So this is not the copy I gave away. The copy I gave away was given away a long time ago. This is the second copy. Let's see. Patrick Klein Mulliman, what about The Witcher Old World? What about The Witcher Old World? I really like it. I'm really excited for it. I don't know what you're asking past that. JB, did you ever review Babylonia? If not, what's your thoughts? Fun fact, I did review Babylonia. It just hasn't gone up yet. I have about, at any given point, I have about 50 videos in the queue. So like right about now, if I counted my videos, I probably have between 45 to 55 videos pending that are ready to go up. And the bulk of those are reviews, because some videos are time sensitive. I can't pre-film my weekend review, but reviews, I can get them up and loaded. And the reason for that is that allows me to do things like going to conventions, traveling, having a sick week. Like 2 weeks ago, I was sick for like a week and a half straight and didn't film a thing for like a week and a half. And I was able to do that because I have a backlog of content always ready to go that I can sub in and put in. Babylonia is filmed. When does it go up? No idea. I have like, of those 50 or so videos, about 40 of them are probably reviews, and they just go up whenever I need a review slot popped in. So I have videos that I have reviews that I filmed like 6 months ago, if not more, that still haven't gone up yet, so they will. Unemployed Lawyer, what is your favorite knick-knack on the top of your shelves? Ooh. Probably the Too Many Bones character. I love Too Many Bones, let's be honest. I have another one up there that's out of the camera view. I love Too Many Bones. I like their characters. Xylabao, is Season 3 a good entry point without getting the past boxes? Xylabao, I don't know that for sure. My assumption, my review actually goes up tomorrow, and my assumption is that it is a good entry point. But do I know that for sure? I don't know. I think part of it depends on your character affinity. Like, do you prefer Marvel United Season 1, Season 2, or Season 3? Like X-Men or whatever? So I think so, but it depends on a lot of factors. Harvest K, Glass Onion is fun, but you should totally check out the menu. Oh, the menu's the one with Voldemort guy, right? It's not his name, Ralph Fiennes. That looked intriguing. I should check out the menu. Nidim Mirror, fortunately I only own 50 games, so I might get away with a small amount, although that part, only 50 might be part of the problem. I only own 250 games, so I have a worse problem. Elwin, Marvel United skirmish rules to play the game head-to-head with a team on grid similar to Hate. I mean, what grid? That's like, you'd have to have a whole... Wouldn't you have to like completely change up the game? Are you just talking about using the miniatures? I don't understand, like, I still don't understand the exact question. Like, a skirmish game with Marvel United would involve completely changing everything about the game, wouldn't it? Am I missing something? I don't totally know. Spingham, I'm happy to see the Galactus mini in the new MU campaign fits in the game box. I'm much more inclined to pick it up than the Marvel Zombies version. Yeah, I prefer the art of the Marvel Zombies version, like the sculpt of it, but I do like that, having the additional little miniature there. JB, have you played Wildlands yet? Yes, I have played Wildlands. I played Wildlands a long time ago. I didn't love it. It has a mechanic that I don't love in games, which is the last hit finishing. So I don't love it in games when you like, for instance, Arcadia Quest has this, Wildlands has it, Ignite has it. A bunch of games have this like, idea where I hit you, someone else hits you, but they take the kill, and so they get all the stuff that I work towards. Strategically, there are reasons why it makes sense. Strategically, you have to like take into account and plan around that and all those things. I just find it not satisfying. So I don't like games that have the mechanic. And to be clear, it's not that I don't like Wildlands, it's that I think Wildlands is good, I don't need to keep it. The like, there's very few games that I actively don't like, but casually speaking, I'll say things like, oh, I didn't like that. When what I really mean is, it was totally fine and I liked it, but I like other games more. The Omnivore, my job prevents me from having a ton of time to learn games. What are your 2 medium weight Euros that are surprisingly complex yet easy to learn? I'm thinking Arnak level complexity. Medium weight Euros that are surprisingly complex yet easy to learn. I think Bruges or Castles of Burgundy from Stefan Feld. I'd give those. And then I think Anno 1800. Anno 1800 is a great game from Martin Wallace. Very easy to learn, but it has a lot of complexity to it. I'm sure there are others. Those are just offhand. Robbie Senger, are we going to get more Marvel Zombicide gameplay videos? Love the first one. Robbie, I have to imagine yes. You see, AP, a good friend of mine, loves the Zombicide universe, and so he and I will film more gameplays. Like, there's another gameplay of Undead or Alive coming, and I'm sure there'll be more. The only problem is, this is one of those weird balances. So one of the reasons we have Camp Co-op, Camp Co-op is going to be where I stream games with Meg, Professor Meg, is because it allows me to dive into the types of content I want to do, meaning playing games I love repeated, filming them, and throwing them up, without diluting this channel into a constant gameplay of the same games over and over again channel. So that's one of the reasons Camp Co-op exists. It allows me to dive into games, make content out of the time I'm spending having fun, and do it somewhere where it's something that people signed up for as opposed to throwing them into this channel. In theory, I would love to do like a Zombicide video every single week over here, but I think people would tune out of that quickly, and so I have to balance what I do. But yeah, I love Zombicide. I'm happily going to play it. There'll be more gameplay videos. Expect those to show up, and yeah, that's basically what we have there. Have a great day, everyone. I'm off playing board games. Sebastian, have fun. Sash KG, that's a cool outfit. Great palette. I appreciate it. Thank you. Richard L, standard US Chimera is the light green one. Oh, then I guess you're right. Richard L, it's what's used for dice throne. I don't know that part, but yeah. Stelios, should I back Tainted Grail Kings of Rune? Stelios, we have to have a much longer conversation around your tastes in games before I can answer that. Tainted Grail Kings of Rune is a great game. It's a great narrative-driven game with a lot of choices and options, and will give you a degree of combat decision and laying cards and matching symbols that is rewarding, but also will feel a bit grindy when you're 70 hours into the game. There's a lot to like about Tainted Grail, but you kind of have to be someone who's okay with a narrative experience, who wants a narrative experience, and probably someone who's playing the game solo. You could play it with more people, but I think it's going to thrive solo. So if those things sound appealing, go for it. If those things don't sound appealing, I'd skip that. Sash KG, will you be seeing a full review of Darkest Dungeon anytime soon? Sash KG, the short answer is probably not soon. I unboxed it, I played the first tutorial and whatnot, but in terms of my priority system of what I'm trying to get tabled, it's lower down the list. Will I eventually dive into it? Almost certainly. Am I currently, like if I'm trying to think through whether I'd rather dive into that or Skyrim or ISS Vanguard, I'm going to choose Skyrim or ISS Vanguard first. It's not a question of a lack of interest, it's just a question of where my preferred interest is. So for right now, the answer is eventually, someday, maybe, but just not yet. Stenavri, thoughts on Heat Pedal to the Metal? Fun fact, there will be a review coming on that one, but the short, well, not review, first impressions. We only played one game and we played it without the modules, so very much first impressions. I liked Heat. I don't feel the need to own it, but I would always be down for playing it. And I haven't played with the modules, so that's why I'm currently on it. But I think racing games in general are less my genre. I think they're games that are harder to table. Like, I really like Tiny Turbo Cars from Terrible Guild, but that's very accessible, very easy to play, also good with kids and adults alike. I think it's great. I think Heat Pedal to the Metal is a great racing game, and I think racing games are not my go-to. Unemployed Lawyer, menu is mid. Does that mean it's not great? I don't know. Francisco, I saw the other day on a different video a game called Virtue on your left side. I'm loving the game so far. What's your opinion? Are we going to have a review? When I play it, we'll have a review. So that's that. One of the problems here is I have so many games that need reviews that are like heavier. Like, okay, when I review a game, I try to play it multiple times, and to that end, games that require 3 to 4 players are harder to get reviewed because I have that less often. Games that require 2 players, very easy. Those I can dive in, or solo. I dive into those all the time, get multiple plays in, very easy, very quick, done. Games that require 3 to 4 players to get multiple plays in and properly cover the game, it takes a bit more time. So with Virtue, it will happen, but not this second. Eric, really excited for Beast to be arriving. Fun fact, I spoke to the Beast people today, Studio Midhall, that's what it is. I spoke to them today. I'm very excited for it to be arriving too. Zalba, what's your favorite bag builder? In Wonderland's War vs. Quacks of Quedlinburg, people always complain about not enough catch-up in Quacks of Quedlinburg and say Wonderland's War fixes that. Quacks of Quedlinburg definitely does not have enough catch-up. Quacks of Quedlinburg is a game that almost every time I've played it, I can think of one exception, almost every time I've played it, somebody is clearly doing better halfway through the game, and that person wins. Just how it works, almost every game. I would say that Wonderland's War, I don't have enough of an opinion yet around the catch-up, but I haven't noticed that same level of calling a winner halfway through the game. So it seems better. Paradox, what are some of the most thematic Euros you have played? A thematic Euro? What are some of the most thematic Euros? Food Chain Magnet definitely does a great job. I would argue that's a Euro, and it's very thematic. It pulls off what's going on. Encyclopedia is decently thematic. Brass is decently thematic. To me, when I think Euro, I think more about the mechanisms than the actual theme. But I think those all hit the board. I mean, Terraforming Mars, you're Terraforming Mars. Again, decently thematic as far as what it does. You have those 3 endgame conditions. I just don't think of them as theme first. El Grande, decently thematic? Nah, probably not. Probably not as much. There's some decently thematic Euros out there, but I just don't think of them. Everdell's got a decent degree of theme going on. Unemployed Lawyer, Camp Co-op link requested, Alex. By all means, throw it in. I'm always fine with the Camp Co-op a link being thrown in. Jolly Oyster. Hi, Alex. Hope your day is going... Oh, and I guess once we're doing that, over on Camp Co-op, we are playing through a bunch of campaign games. If you want to see a full Frosthaven gameplay across the 137 Frosthaven episodes, of which we have like 5 up and another like 8 in the queue or whatever it is, but once a week we'll be dropping a Frosthaven gameplay. Additionally, once or twice a week we play through games like, or I should say 2 to 3 times a week, we play through games like Gloomhaven and Roleplay Adventures and Hoplomachus and other games too, over on Camp Co-op. So if you want to see gameplays, if you want to hang out with a bunch of cool peeps over there, because it is a very, very cool community of people. I really like them. They're pretty awesome. Then head on over to Camp Co-op and subscribe. Also, there'll be a giveaway for Camp Co-op as well shortly. It's coming soon, but that video will be on this channel, so you can take your time. Jolly Oyster. Hi, Alex. Hope your day's going great. Jolly Oyster, I hope your day's going great. Dwarf Furious. I just saw your Play This Not That for Rum and Bones versus Guards of Atlantis because Guards of Atlantis 2 is coming. Now I just want both. Problem solved. Get both. So, fun fact, I actually messaged Dwarf Furious. I messaged Devin yesterday, I messaged Devin yesterday to say that when he comes in, he's coming back in February, just him this time, and when he comes back in February, I told him I want to play through Guards of Atlantis and Rum and Bones and Sky Tier and Cloudspire in order to do a Play This Not That of all 4 games and talk about all 4 games, because all of those are highly rated MOBA games that I like all of them. So first things first is I like all 4 of them. I think if you get any of those games, you cannot go wrong if you like the genre. But for me, I definitely have preferences, and we'll talk about that more when we go through that video. Miriam Doss, great poncho, my friend. I appreciate it. I love the poncho. I'm a big fan of it. Jean Capabianco. I'm thinking about Zombicide. What makes you like Black Plague the most? John, I'm not sure if I do like Black Plague the most anymore. I like Marvel Zombies a lot. I like Undead or Alive a lot. I like Black Plague a lot. Black Plague to me... Here, I'm going to give you the 3 different aspects, okay? Black Plague has the best zombie variety from any Zombicide game I've played, to the point that I don't see it leaving my collection anytime soon because it has the best zombie variety. It's the kind of game where you have multiple zombie types and they're always a challenge, and when you have the expansions, when you have Green Horde, there's just so many different types of zombies. I absolutely adore it and love it and recommend it a lot. Undead or Alive represents the best difficulty. It is the highest, it's the most difficult, it really requires tactical planning, you cannot make a wrong move, and that makes me love the puzzle of what Undead or Alive presents. I love it, I recommend it, I think it's excellent. It has sucky zombie variety. And then Marvel Zombies, I think, adds a lot of things that really do a great job. It has the Marvel IP, which is a good thing. It also has unique character abilities. Part of the problem with Undead or Alive and Black Plague is that the characters don't have unique abilities, they have a unique combination of abilities. But that means that once you've played through 20 characters, they all feel kind of samey, because you're like, okay, this one has these 3, this one has those 4. They have the same mix and pool of abilities. The hero variety or zombie hero variety in Marvel Zombies is all unique. And so every character has their own unique taste and feel, not taste, just feel, to how they're actually going to play. And that is really solid combined with the other gameplay changes. So right now, I don't know which one's my favorite. I think Marvel Zombies, but I need to play it more in person to find out. Gotcha. Thanks for answering. Always value perspective on games. Keep making content. I appreciate Sasha. I'm not going anywhere. I got too much love for this hobby. Stelios, thanks for the answer. Absolutely. Dwarf Furious. Any current video games that you would love to see as a board game? My default answer is always BioShock. Any current video games? I'm not really playing through current video games. That's the problem. I'm like way old school. I play through Overwatch. That's the newest video game I'm playing. And I don't think Overwatch would be great as a board game. So I don't really know. Joel, you look so cozy. Fun fact, Joel, I am so cozy. Unemployed Lawyer. I think Vindication is the most thematic Euro out there. George, are you joking? Are you messing with me? I think you're messing with me. Sash KG, I think the Age of Atlantis is quite a thematic Euro, but that's just me. I have the Age of Atlantis. I want to play it. Can someone please come over and teach it to me? Omnivore, Tzolk'in the Man Calendar is a very thematic Euro game. That is true. That's definitely true. Regardless of what the Dice Tower says. Unemployed Lawyer, Camp Co-op Discord link because Alex says okay. Appreciate you. Duke of Fall, if you had to design a board game, what would be the core mechanic and theme? Core mechanic would be drafting because drafting is my favorite mechanic of all time. Period. Bar none. I love drafting. What would the theme be? That's harder to answer. I'm not a theme-first person. It would not be World War II or any form of modern warfare because I don't really care about that. Drafting. I don't know. I guess either cute animals or something just, generic fantasy. I'm fairly fairly low-key and not interesting as a human being. Unemployed Lawyer, YouTube link, thank you, appreciate it. So we have Discord link, we have the YouTube link, all that fun things. Xylabout, yeah, play this for MOBA. Yes, I'm going to be doing that. Dwarf Furious, can't wait, I'm definitely interested in all 4 of those. Yeah, all 4 of them are fantastic games, but they all have different areas that they're better at, which is fascinating to me. Like, I don't know, even if you watch The Guards of Atlantis vs. Rum and Bones, even though I did ultimately recommend Rum and Bones, if I recall correctly, that video was like 3 years ago, ultimately both are great and they feel very different. All 4 of the games do feel fairly different, and they all have different areas where they are stronger or weaker, and so any play that's not that between the 4 games is going to have a pick. I am going to pick which one I prefer the most, because I can do that. That's how it works. But it's going to be all 4. I recommend all 4 of those games. I'll save you the time right now. Okay. Can't wait, definitely interested. Aaron Taylor, Board Game Code. Do you think if Command makes Last of Us, that'll be this year's Zombicide? I want to jump all in a Zombicide, but Marvel Zombies priced me out of it. Do you mean actually like the Last of Us Zombicide theme? That could be interesting, but I don't think so. Also, my assumption, my guess, this is no insider knowledge, this is purely a guess, I don't think Command's making The Last of Us anymore. I think having The Last of Us have theme board games do that, and then Command announcing it a while ago and no updates, my guess is that we do not see Last of Us from Command, but I could be wrong. Joel, game recommendations to get my friends interested in board games. So first of all, Joel, the biggest thing to note is that you do not want to try to intentionally get people into board games with any degree of pushing. You want to kind of open the door and see who walks in. Pushing your hobby on others, well, put it this way. Imagine you have a friend who likes hiking. And imagine, for the sake of this conversation, that you don't like hiking. If your friend tries to get you into hiking, most people just like doing their thing. I find having a room that looks like this and, just playing games all the time means I have plenty of opportunities for people to ask. Once those people are asking or interested, once the doors open and they're walking in, there are definitely great recommendations I can give you. I'd recommend Timeline as a great game. I'd recommend Codenames and Baron Park as excellent gateway games that I think are just widely accessible and just easy to jump into. As far as very much lighter games, I don't even know. What do I have as far as, like, a lot of my lighter stuff I've gotten rid of. Dixit's fantastic. Dixit is absolutely fantastic. Games like Framework are very solid. Cascadia is excellent, one of my go-tos. There's a lot of great games out there that are very solid gateway games. Norin, if they release Blood Rage 2.0, what changes would you like to see and or what would you like to add? That's a longer thought to think through. What change would you like to see in Blood Rage? My biggest complaint about Blood Rage, and I don't know how to fix this, is that you draft these incredibly cool creatures in round 3, and you use them once. And then the game's over. I don't know how to solve that. I don't know the best answer. Because, like, what's the answer? Make it 4 rounds and there's no drafting in the 4th round so you can build on the things? I don't know. It just feels a little anticlimactic to have something that you only use once. So I don't have an easy answer, but that's my biggest complaint. John, maybe I'll wait for Marvel Zombies to hit my game store. Thank you for my good sir. Absolutely. Although I do... The core set question is always a question. When it comes to the Zombicide universe, more is better. So core set question is a tough one. Richard L. They're making both the new Blood Rage and Cyclades, but life is cruel and you can only have one. Which would it be? Cyclades. Cyclades. And I'll tell you why. And it's a bit of a nuanced answer. Because I'm assuming in this conversation I'm keeping my original of whatever the other one is. I think Blood Rage is so good at what it does. I mean, so is Cyclades, for that matter. Cyclades is also excellent. I think there's more areas to improve upon Cyclades than there are upon Blood Rage. So I think I'd go for the new Cyclades. And if it's not great, I still have my old Cyclades. Zodtan, do you speed talk outside of making content? If not, can you demonstrate how you normally speak? So Zodtan, when I'm reading through a question like that, I definitely speed talk because I'm trying to keep up with chat. So let's take a step back. There are different speeds that I can talk at. And it depends on what I'm doing, in what way, at what time. Part of the problem with doing the YouTube channel is I occasionally get people who ask me to speak slower. And there's a few problems with speaking slower. The first is that whenever I do, I get people who ask me to speed up. I get people who are like, no, I like you. I like how fast you speak. You're the only YouTuber I don't need to listen to on 1.5. And so that means that I'm always incentivized to talk fast and slow. There is a natural pressure to talk fast that I have when I'm doing content, because I have this like jumble of thoughts in my head, and I find that it kind of is all waiting to come out, and it pushes me to speak a bit faster. And I can speak slower, but it requires great intent. I will say, though, that when I read the questions right now, so when I go ahead and I go, do you speak talk outside making content? If not, can you understand how you normally speak? That is me. First of all, I'm blurring my words there, which is not great. Talking fast is not a problem, but you should enunciate your words as much as possible. I would say right now, I'm probably roughly akin to the speed I normally talk. Like right now, when you hear me like slow down a bit after you ask that question, I definitely talk fast, probably talk a bit faster on YouTube, and a lot faster on live streams, because I'm trying to keep up with the chat, which is very hard to do. John, I feel like the Yakuza games make a cool tabletop experience. What are the Yakuza games? Chaz Brown, what is your top 3 engine building games? Terraforming Mars, Terraforming Mars, and Terraforming Mars. No, Terraforming Mars. I'd have to look through my collection. What's engine building? I don't even know. I don't know. Terraforming Mars, I'm going to go with that. But more, there are more. Frederick, hello Alex. Hey Frederick, how's it going? Andrew, are you going to do any more Quack & Co videos? I like the 10 minutes or less guarantee. Andrew, so the Quack & Co videos, Quack & Co is still going, but I left Quack & Co a while ago. Now this, by the way, for those of you who are still here from the earlier question, me leaving Quack & Co has actually nothing to do with me doing less content with Quacklope. Those are two separate things that happened to happen around the same time. Basically, Quack & Co, both Jesse and I, when we were doing Quack & Co, there was a point in time, I don't even remember what it was, but there was a point in time when we were both so overwhelmed with our schedules that we were like, we just started not doing videos here and there, and because we had so much going on that we just started dropping the ball, and we went back and forth and we had conversations, and eventually I was like, you know what, hey, if you want to do Quack & Co yourself, like he brought it up, he's like, what if I just did Quack & Co myself, because I have, like, you know, I have West who wants to do videos and I have other people who want to do content there, and I was like, go for it. Like, if you want to take it on yourself, by all means go for it. I am feeling overwhelmed with the amount of things that I'm currently trying to do, and I had taken a job at GameFound, I was streaming, I was doing Quack & Co, and I was doing videos. I was like, hey, feel free to take it over. That happened around the same time as we were doing less and less content together, but they happen to be unrelated. Sash KG, Age of Atlantis is very easy to learn. If you want to see it played out full, you can check out John Gets Games video on it. I'll add it to the list of things I'm trying to do. Zalabel, have you tried to pimp up Zombicide Dead or Alive with mixing in Black Plague zombies? No. I mean, in theory it's possible. I don't like going to that level of homebrewing stuff. In theory it's possible. I only homebrew stuff when it's like the bare minimum. So I don't mind house rules, but it's really got to be the bare minimum of changes necessary. Jonathan Saint, we have so many awesome Marvel games, why no great DC games? Jonathan, great question. We have so many awesome Marvel movies, why no great DC movies? Rick, if you were going to make a board game, what theme would you go with and what single mechanic would you absolutely start with? Didn't I just answer that? I said drafting as far as mechanics, and I recognize that, Rick, you may have just popped into the chat. I don't mean that offensively or aggressively. Welcome aboard. I love you very much. You're my favorite person. But drafting, and then probably something medieval or woodland creatures. Richard L. Jonathan, Saint DC is mismanaged by Rona Bros. Excellent, true. Jeffrey, just want to let you know you're mine and my wife's favorite board game content creator. Keep your awesome work. Jeffrey, you are a sweetheart. And I guess your wife's a sweetheart too. I appreciate you both. Thank you. Genuinely. By the way, like, genuinely, it's fascinating being a content creator. And we talk about this in other videos, and I've talked about this a lot, but it's fascinating being a content creator. The inherent nature of having any large group of people who see you on the internets means you will get a subset of people who have no judgment call, who don't make good judgment calls about how to be a human being on the internet, which means no matter what happens, once you scale past a certain size, meaning like if you had a few hundred, maybe, I don't know, but once you scale past a certain size, you will have people who are mean to you on the internet. And this goes back, this is well before I'm here. Like, I remember that I was probably at like 1,000 subs before I had people throwing offensive comments my way. And I do a good job or a decent job at having them bounce off, but there's always that part of me that kind of wants to justify everything and explain everything. And anytime someone doesn't like me for one reason or another, whether it's an opinion I have or anything, I always want to respond and convince them to like me. And you have to kind of let it go. But it's also why it's nice to see comments that are supportive and kind and positive, because it's a good reminder that, yes, there's always going to be people who don't like you, especially if you're on the internets. I don't like people on the internets. I just don't say it out loud. That's the only thing. I mean, I don't mind if you don't like people. It's just like, just why would you say it on their video? Hey, you're terrible. Like, it's just unnecessary. But I appreciate nice comments because they help balance out all the mean and hateful people in the world. There's not that many. I'm just like, they're just annoying. There probably are that many, but not that many here. Amir Hossein Girati, hello to you. Dr. Sammy, I need Magic the Gathering plus in-game deck building. Any suggestions? Oh. Codex. You're welcome. Look up Codex. You may not want it, but it definitely has the Magic the Gathering plus in-game deck building kind of vibe. The Duke of Fall, have you played Batman the Dark Knight Returns? No, I have not. Frederick, do you have 1 or 2 projects you're interested in 2023 that you know you... So do you have 1 or 2 projects you are interested in for 2023 that you know you won't play? Wait, why am I interested in it if I know I won't play it? I'm not sure I'm entirely following the question, but let me know. Kyle, it's Poncho Alex. It is Poncho Alex. Sash KG, I recruited a lot of people into the wonderful world of board games with Lovecraft Letter. Ooh, that's fun. Love Letter is a great game. It never worked for me personally, but it is a great game that has like 14,000 offshoots. Dwarf Furious, I'm going to pick the one with the most dwarfs. I saw Rum and Bones had none. Had orcs though. Okay, Cloudspire, I think has no dwarfs. Skytier, I think has no dwarfs. Rum and Bones, I think has no dwarfs. There's a chance that Guards of Atlantis has a dwarf in one of its characters. I don't remember. but I don't know. I'm sure it has short people, if that helps. I'm going to host Gratu. Everdell or Wingspan? I say Everdell. I did a full video on that. Everdell versus Wingspan. Kalo, please tell me I do not need more Marvel United. I already have the first 2 seasons, but looks like a great addition. Kalo, you do not need more Marvel United. Neither do I. I'm also going to back all of it, but I genuinely believe that neither you nor I need more of it. Both of us know that. Both of us understand that. And both of us will probably get it. So I'm sorry, and we're both bad people. Miriam Doss, are you digging the new dashboards for Marvel Zombicide? They're okay. I'm neither for nor against them. Unemployed lawyer, after just teaching Blood Rage over the weekend, here's how I try to fix Alex's answer. Make a clan upgrade for the second age of drafting that allows you to play the third aid monster free. So my problem isn't the cost of playing the third age monster, it's just that you only get to see it once. I'd almost rather more things within the third age that allowed you to bring things back to life. But I don't know if that would be, like, I don't know how you'd handle it necessarily, but that would be my instinctive answer. David Rodriguez, best board games to play with mom. Fun fact, David, I play a lot of board games with a lot of different people. I play very few games with my parents. I play with my siblings, I play with friends, I play with my family. It happens to be my parents, I've only played games with them a handful of times, a handful. And I don't think many of them have stood out to me as games that they've resonated with. So I don't have a great answer there. I'm sure there are great answers, but I don't have one. Are Meg and Devin going to start doing content solo on BGC? It seems like you've produced more content, not less, since Meg and Devin came on board. When do you get a break? Srebme, the problem with a break is a break requires me to like games less. And I don't like games less. So in theory, when Devin and Meg came on board, the plan was that I would do like 1 or 2 videos less a week. And then they would do some solo videos. And then we do videos together. And that just hasn't happened. A part of that is the fact that I just want to do videos. I just like talking about board games. And so, as much as I in theory should do less, I like the hobby. It's a hard problem, and I don't know how to solve that problem because I just like the hobby. And so, I don't think there's going to be less content from me. As far as solo content from Meg and Devin, I've kind of left that up to them to a large degree. Both of them have the full wherewithal to do solo content as much as possible. Some of it comes down to style or feeling like that. It's a weird part of the problem, I think, is that it is a little different. For us to do, let's say, a video of the 3 of us in either of their studios still feels like a Board Game Co. video. But I think for Devin to do a solo video in his studio and then put it on my channel wouldn't feel quite as much like a Board Game Co. video. It's been done. He did one video so far. He did an unboxing of an RPG. But you will see stuff like that, but what I would be more inclined to do is to have them film the occasional solo video while they're here. The downside of that is that means they're filming a solo video in time we could be filming together or playing games together. But ultimately, I think the main point is just convince both of them to move here, and then we'll solve that problem. Frank Gallifero, what's up, Alex? Nothing much. I'm enjoying my live stream. I was almost going to say enjoying my coffee, but that's barely true. Enjoying the live stream, drinking my coffee. Splattering coffee on my face over there. Give me a second here. And it's nothing against Starbucks, by the way. I like Starbucks, but in this case, not this one. Steve Owen. Hi, Alex. I appreciate all the great content you produce. Steve, you are a sweetheart. I appreciate you very much. Stacy. Everdell. Yes, agreed. Grunge Life. Everdell. Agreed. Frederick. You were interested in ATO but decided not to play it for lack of time. I seem to recall there have been a few of those. Oh, gotcha. Okay, cool. So, lack of time isn't necessarily the way I would phrase it. Did I get on my poncho? I better not have gotten that Starbucks coffee in my poncho. Okay. I wouldn't phrase it as lack of time. I would phrase Aeon's Trespass Odyssey to me was overwhelming enough that I thought it would very much be a lifestyle type game. Similar to games like Marvel Champions or Gloomhaven or Oathsworn, meaning I thought it would be a very large commitment. And while I enjoyed it, my interest level did not align with the commitment necessary. That happens all the time with many, many games. So for example, I would say that, what's that giant one? Sankoshushin. Sankoshushin is a game I am 100% interested in, but I think that the level of commitment it would take to play does not align with my interest level. So add Sankoshushin to the 2023 games that I probably will not get because of that issue. Past that, I don't know. There's going to be a dozen projects that fall into that category where I'm interested in them. Every single month when I do my What I Backed videos, they're all of those. Every single video in the What I Backed videos are games that I was interested in, and then many of them I make the decision not to back because I'm just not interested enough compared to the decisions that have to be made. Sasuke G, Clash of Cultures, sitting behind you, is another epic engine building game. I played the original, I have not played the new one. I love the original. I need to play the new one. David Rodriguez, it took me 2 weeks of watching your videos to keep up with how fast you talk. I thought maybe you sped up your videos by 51%, but now that I'm hearing you live, speaking videos is fast in real time. And it could even be faster when I'm trying to read questions and keep up with chat. But yeah, it's a constant struggle. The thing I work on more, the thing that bothers me more is when I slur words together. I'd rather focus on talking fast and enunciating as much as possible, because at least it's not the best, and the thing I always feel bad for is non-native English-speaking viewers who really struggle to watch, and I might be alienating a percentage of viewers who just can't keep up and don't stick around and give me the 2 weeks necessary to stay on board, and I do feel bad about that. But it also is hard for me to mentally always tune it to slow down, and again, when I do, I get feedback from people who want me to speed back up again. Duke of Fall, how do you feel about automated players for solo modes in games? Duke of Fall, I generally am not a fan. I know Oros, which just recently arrived, has that, didn't like it, so to me, the solo mode of Oros I won't really play. The Great Wall, which I love, don't love handling a third player. I generally do not like automated players unless it is so abstracted as to be non-existent. So for example, Alhambra has a third player, I believe they call him Duke, because Dirk Hen or whatever. But so it has to be very minimal in the maintenance, like very, very minimal, for me to appreciate an automated player. Otherwise, I'm kind of like, nope. Unemployed Lawyer. I mean, there's a clan upgrade that already lets you bring monsters from Valhalla back. There is, George. I appreciate that, or Unemployed Lawyer. But I would want more. I don't want one. I'm saying I think that the greater balance would be adding more stuff in the third age that lets you reuse monsters. Or just in some way extending it. I just feel bad drafting that giant guy with a flaming sword, and then he's gone after a second. Stacey Everdell, my mom likes Parks, Mice and Mystics, and Azul. Good choices. Parks is excellent. Unemployed Lawyer, or maybe it's only Warriors. I don't remember. It might be Monsters 2, but I don't remember that. Kalo, I always watch Alex in 2x speed unless the live stream. It's actually so weird for me to hear his normal speed and voice. So Kalo, fun fact, my live streams are a drop faster than normal because I'm trying to keep up with chat, but they are slower than 2x speed, that's for sure. Clockwork Mummy, I got X-Men United at retail. Wish I could get the other X-Men stuff from the Kickstarter without getting another core box. Oh well. I mean, the core boxes have new heroes and stuff, so there is that. QVO Games. Hey Alex, it was great playing with you at WSBG. Thanks for the good time of trial inscription. Oh hey, that was you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for popping by. I really enjoyed that. In fact, I have my Twilight inscription little insert that I'm trying to assemble today. We'll see if I get to it, because I'm doing the Marvel United insert first. This is from One Sharp Joe. I'm off to the side of the camera, in the middle of assembling that as we do this live stream. Steve Owen, what's your favorite dungeon crawler? This was answered earlier, I believe, but I think Cthulhu Death May Die, which is not your classic dungeon crawler, but it is a dungeon crawler by every reasonable definition, I believe. Outside of that, I really need to dive into Massive Darkness more. I like Arena of the Contest a lot. I like the Zombicide system a lot. I like Gloomhaven a lot. Gloomhaven is probably my second favorite dungeon crawler. So yeah, there's those. Patrick Klein, can you tell us about your favorite memory in your board game code career? Ooh, that's a great question. Give me a second. There are a lot. I'm going to go through a bunch here. Okay, we're just going to do a bunch. I've had a lot of great memories in doing what I do. Sometimes they're as simple as playing a game. A cool moment in a game where someone does like 40 damage 2 turns in a row, or something crazy happens. There's a lot of those. I really enjoyed, actually at WSBG, which you just mentioned, at WSBG, I actually had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Tom Vassell and play a game. And when I say play a game, I mean we set the game up and started the game and then proceeded to spend the next 2 hours just talking about the industry in general. I really enjoyed that. I mean, Tom Vassell is someone I've respected and admired for like 12 years. And it's very cool to sit down with somebody who you've watched from afar and then I just have a 2-hour-long conversation about the industry. That's very cool to me. I remember there's a lot of fun memories I've had with Jesse. I remember with Jesse and Devin, we had a game of Veiled Fate one time. It's a film video. You can watch that out. So slight spoilers to what happens here. But the final ending of that game is one of the coolest moments I've had in any game I've played, where it's a team and it's hidden characters and whatnot, but you don't know who's on your team. And so it gets to the end. Jesse and Devin think they're on the same team, but they're not. Spoilers. They think they're on the same team, and Jesse's like sitting there, and everyone at the table thinks they're on the same team. And Jesse's about to do it, and Devin's like, no, don't do it. I got this. Let me take it. I got it. We'll make sure we win. I got it. And Jesse lets him do it. And then Devin takes his turn, does the thing. Jesse's like, what are you doing? And Devin's like, yeah, that helps us win. And then they realize they're on different teams. They both thought they were on the same team. They both thought their objectives were aligned. Their objectives were not aligned. And Jesse effectively ceded the game to the person he thought was his teammate to help him win. It was an incredibly fun moment to be there for. Past that, I don't know, there's so many. There's so many moments. A lot of them are going to be people-based. You know, Devin, Meg, Jesse, a lot of them are going to be people-based in like the space, or people I've interacted with. Playing a game with Eric Lang was very cool. Playing Marvel United, actually being the hidden traitor against him and fooling him, that was excellent. And Marvel United, the Loki thing. There's lots of fun moments across what I've been doing. Lots of fun moments. I always do that noise. I gotta stop that. I do, like, when I'm going back to a question to fill the noise, I'm not comfortable with the silence. I need to be comfortable with the silence. MTG Gaming Bomb. Hello again. Do you ever finish that Hogwarts Battle Game 7? Also, have you ever played Attack on Titan? I have not played Attack on Titan, and I have not finished Hogwarts Battle Game 7. We've played it like 3 times. We just haven't won it. Sasuke G. Protect the Poncho. Now, that's a great title for a game. That would be a great title for the game. Sneaky Brick Games. What would you say is the game with the best bag building combat system? Maybe Wonderland's War. Probably Wonderland's War. Bag building combat I don't have a ton of, but possibly Wonderland's War. Isofarian Guard. Isofarian Guard is very good. Maybe Isofarian Guard. Duke of Fall, are there any games that your kids make you play with them that they enjoy but you don't? So yes, there are, although I try to get rid of them. When they enjoy a game that I don't, I do ultimately try to eventually get rid of it. I'd rather play the games that we all enjoy instead of picking games that only one person enjoys. But I would say that My Little Scythe for a long time fit into that category. Past that, I'd have to look. They actually have pretty good games. A game they enjoy that I don't? They definitely exist. Villa Paletti, it's a stacking game. I don't love that one at all. There's not a ton, but there certainly are some. Daniel Sove, are you excited for final... Wait, no, wrong question. Clan Shalilin, what's your favorite gateway game to show new people that barely ever played board games? Timeline in general. Baron Park's a great one. I answered this a bit earlier, but yeah, some of those. Daniel Stoves V, are you excited for Final Girl Season 2 being shipped out soon? Daniel, I am not. Nothing against Final Girl, but I moved on from that one. I enjoyed my gameplays of Final Girl, but I thought Final Girl gave you an incredible experience as far as the narrative and story, but it was very, very luck heavy, and it has cascading failure, which is a mechanic I don't like. Cascading failure is the idea that not only when you fail do you fail, but when you fail, it makes it even harder for you to succeed the next time. So it's like, and that's almost inherent in failure, but it's more so within cascading failure. And that happens in Final Girl. And I don't love that because it means a few bad things going wrong can just make you done. Swebme, mission accepted. Convince Amber and Meg to move to Cleveland. I love how you said Amber and Meg because you know who the people are. I almost got Devin. I almost got him. That was definitely a plan at one point. I don't know if it'll happen. We'll see. James, hey Alex, what's your current opinion on Massive Darkness 2? I liked it for a while, but it's completely fallen off of me. James, I only played the tutorial. It's still set up. It's been set up on my table, on my upstairs dining room table, under the table. It's been set up there for, I want to say, like 5 months. I need to play it. Frank Gallifro, I know Dwellings of Eldervale wasn't your jam. Does Andromeda's Edge change your mind? I like Andromeda's Edge more, not enough to pick it up and add it to my collection. It's a good game, probably a 4 to 5. But the problem is, it's a 4 to 5 in a genre where I have 4.5s and 5s, which doesn't do it for me. Shelf Help Gaming, hey Board Game Co, I have a question for you. I've been trying to coin a new term for a mechanic that I'm not sure currently exists in the board game terminology. I need more information. It's basically the opposite of cascading failure success in games like Final Girl, where the more you fail succeed, the easier it is to respectively fail succeed in the future. Now I'm not sure if I'm following it. If it's the opposite of cascading failure success, then effectively you're talking about a catch-up mechanic, right? Am I correct about that? Isn't this the catch-up mechanic? But it's a catch-up mechanic for solo gaming? Is it specifically for solo gaming? Because otherwise what you're referring to, I think, is a catch-up mechanic. Yeah, we'll see. Unemployed Lawyer. Swap me, better mission convince Amber and Rena to move to Massachusetts. Good luck trying to convince. So part of the problem as well, here's part of the problem with us. Because of the fact that we're Orthodox and Jewish, we live within a Jewish community, which means the places where we could practically move need to have a Jewish community. Little Rock's got like nothing. Massachusetts has Boston. Boston has a Jewish community, but the chances of Rena moving there are slim. So I would love to, but it's not going to happen. MTG Gaming Bog, what is the onus to move to Cleveland? I live in the Cleveland area. What's the onus? I'm missing that, okay. Richard L, I doubt Alex backed Final Girl 2, correct. The Board Game Garden. Hey Alex, Board Game Garden! Everyone, if you want to go ahead and head on over to Board Game Garden and watch her most recent video, she's attempting to go like more full-time stuff in board game space, so she has a Patreon. You can go ahead and subscribe and follow that Patreon. That's something I actually plan on having in my weekend review already, Jenna. But yeah, Board Game Garden. She's doing board gamey things, and she's doing them fairly well, by the way. She went from like nothing to like 12K subs overnight. Jenna, you're amazing and incredible, and we really need to actually like play a game sometime. That would be great. That would be great if we could actually play a game sometime. I'll even do it online, okay? Because we haven't done conventions yet together, so whenever. I did the thing again. Shelf Out Gaming. What would you call that type of mechanic? I was thinking something like compensational failure success. Compensational failure success is too much. You'd want to name something else. But again, it is catch-up mechanic, right? Unless it's solo gaming. Steph Korchak, are you going all in on Cthulhu Death May Die Fear of the Unknown? Absolutely I am. Big Boss, is Guards of Atlantis 2 the best MOBA game for you? I think Rum and Bones is, but Cloud Spire might... I'll have a video. Again, earlier in the video I said this. Also, I just realized we crossed an hour, so we might try to wrap this up soon, because I probably should. But I like all the MOBA-style games. I like all of them. I think I like Rum and Bones more than Guards of Atlantis, but it is tight. Both of them are excellent. MTG Gaming Bob, trying to get all my content creators... MTG Gaming Bob, trying to get all of my favorite content creators in one city? Yeah, I'd love that. And if that city could be Cleveland, that'd be excellent. Nidamin Mirror, I'm not English native and I'm okay with the tempo. I appreciate Nidamin Mirror. There are some people who comment... Again, the only comment I feel bad for, when someone says, hey, dude, you talk too fast, couldn't care less. When someone says, hey, I'm not a native English speaker and I can't keep up, then I feel bad. Then it feels like I'm excluding people. So that's where I feel bad. Zoltan, certain autonomous are so high maintenance that it's pointless, might as well play if you are the second player. Yeah, and I say this next thing with complete and utter respect for David Turczi, because a lot of people like his solo modes. Any solo mode that David Turczi has done so far, I have not liked. There gets to be a certain point in complexity where you are doing an excellent job mimicking the other player, including all the downtime of the other player, and none of the social benefits of that downtime. So, not my jam. Lefleur07, what are your feelings on Endless Winter currently? I love Endless Winter. If you're asking how does it do according, like you can watch my top 100, it's in my top 100, it's definitely there. If you're asking how it compares and fares against Lost Ruins of Arnak and Dune Imperium, Devin, Meg, and myself, the next time we're together, we'll be doing a full video comparing the three with all the expansions. So we'll be covering that. David Rodriguez, P.S. Digging the Cloak, Poncho, if you had time, space, travel into the world in one of the games you play, which game do you think your attire would fit into most appropriately? If I have the time or space travel to travel into one of the games I play, where do I think this would fit the best? So, there was a game called... Was it called Pachacuna? No. It might have been called Pachacuna. Pachacuna, this definitely would have fit well in, but it's not a game I own. In terms of games I own, where would this fit in nicely? I don't know. Quest for El Dorado? Perhaps Quest for El Dorado. I like that game. I do like the Quest for El Dorado. Let's do the Quest for El Dorado. The Quest for El Dorado! Jeremiah Alston, have you played Don't Get Got? If so, how is it? Don't Get Got is a fascinating game that I really appreciate in very many ways. And I got rid of it. Don't Get Got, the idea of it is it's a game that you play outside of the game. So you start the game, and then you go back to regular life, or you go back to other games, and the idea is to get got. Each player has certain goals they have to get the other players to do things. And so you're trying to get the other players got by tricking them to do things, and those things can be variable. It could be something as simple as like, you want to get your friend to like text your other friends. You can be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I need to take care of like the trash right now. Could you just like text Devin and say I'll be there in 5 minutes? There are things like that where you have specific goals. The problem is all the players know that you have specific goals. They just don't know what the goals are. So every time you ask someone to do something, you say, hey, can you pass me the pasta? And they're like, no. And you just wanted the pasta because you just like, but they has that game, and it's a really fun experience that it plays outside game time, so it just doesn't practically speaking happen. But it's a very cool concept, a very cool game. I recommend trying it out. I just don't feel the need to own it after playing it a few times. Sean Marks, any plans to try Frostpunk? I would love to play Frostpunk. It's been a surprise hit for me, but certainly a commitment on the level of Mage Knight. That scares the crap out of me, and I barely play Mage Knight. I need to play more Mage Knight. I would love to play Frostpunk. I'm probably not going to buy it right now, but we'll see. Board Game Garden. Don't remind me of Twilight Inscription. Played it once with friends and absolutely loved it. Now I can't find a copy anywhere. Aw, Jenna, that's tough. It should be. Is it not available? Is it out of stock? That's a hard one. Zalabao, has GameFound already booked your Essen trip? It's the CMO's place to be. Would be great to see you there. Unfortunately, I will not be at Essen. It conflicts again with their Jewish holidays. Basically, and this, I don't know how it plays out. I think year after next might work, but this coming year, this past year and this next year, it conflicts with the Jewish holidays. There's a lot of Jewish holidays right around that time, which just makes the Essen trip a very hard one to do. I will be at UKGE if that helps, but yeah, not there. Dr. Sammy D, Codex is out of print. Any other suggestions for deck builders? Yes, go to Board Game Geek, search for Codex on the secondhand market, and buy it there. Yeah, lots of games are out of print, but you could get your hands on them. I do think Codex is a great deck builder that's in the MTG vein where you build a deck as you play. Other ones that build a deck as you play that have an MTG vibe, I mean, there's ones that have deck construction before the game. During the game, not that I'm familiar with offhand. Richard L., that Veiled Fate playthrough is one of the best. Highly recommend people watch it. It's great. James Sullivan, better late than never. And true. That is indeed true. True Money, can you give a brief overview of the hobby industry? I'm newish and trying to figure out things like staying with the new games coming out and how to find copies of old games, etc. That is a big ask. Board games are a wonderful hobby. I love board games. I think board games are excellent. I think there will always be more board games available that you don't need to get your hands on. When you first dive into the hobby, you'll find yourself compelled by so many different things. Start small. Get a few games here or there. Make sure to play them multiple times. Enjoy what they offer. Get a sense of your tastes. Don't get 100 games that you haven't played until you start to feel out what works for you or not. There's a lot of great game stores you can get your hands on to get the newest games. You can go to your local game store, you can go to Amazon, or you can go to some of the online game stores. I personally recommend Game Nerds and Miniature Markets as my two places that I like to shop, but there's a bunch out there. You can definitely check them out, and various sites will give you price comparison tools as well. There's also the used market. You can go on sites like Board Game Revolution, you can go on Board Game Geek, you can go on eBay, you can go on a whole bunch of places, including Reddit as well, where you'll find various ways you can exchange, trade, buy, sell board games used. Unfortunately, used games, people do often ask a decent amount of money for them, so a game that you can buy for $40, if you buy it used, it might cost you $35 by the time you're done with shipping. I do recommend buying or trading in bulk. That will bring it down a bit and give you a little bit more savings, but used, you're not saving a ton, but you are getting games in pretty good quality, so it's not the worst, and it is a good opportunity to pick up games that are otherwise out of print, games like Codex. Find a group of people to play with and or try solo things. You can also play games online. Sites like Board Game Arena, sites like Yucata, those are all excellent places where you can dive into board games, try games that you don't actually need to play, get a better sense of your taste, find things that you fall in love with. There's just a whole giant world out there of things you can fall into. Find the content creators that you like what they do, like what they talk about, like the kinds of tastes that align with your own, and or give you a good intro to the hobby in different ways. There's a lot of stuff out there. This is a fascinating world. Welcome aboard. Please stick around. You're going to have a good time. Sean Marks, any interest in trying out the new Star Wars deck builder or the Command Stranger Things? No in the Command Stranger Things, although that might change. The new Star Wars deck builder, I don't recall anything about that. Then Amir, after the video I addressed Veil Fate titles I would love to play. That's true. Duke of Fall, what do you dislike about board games as a hobby? What changes do you wish could be made? Ooh, that is a messy one. I find... I'm trying to decide how to best handle this. The Duke of... what do you dislike about board games as a hobby? There can be a decent amount of gatekeeping in the hobby, in different ways. Whether it's making fun of people for their tastes, whether it's in any way making them feel lesser for something about it. I also do find it has a low tolerance for experimentation in both a good way and a bad way, and both a good way and a bad way. I find there's lots of you shouldn't do things this way or that way that it's hard to encompass into a small conversation. But like for example, I'll give a good example would be the game Prison Architect. Prison Architect was a game that was on Kickstarter at one point. It was a game about managing a prison. And that is a theme that is distasteful to some. I also find war distasteful to some. But I find that war games get made all the time. I think there is often a degree of a lower tolerance for things that might be bothersome to some people in the board game space that I wish was a bit more open. I do believe in people buying what they want and backing what they want and getting their hands what they want, but I think there's often a degree of shame thrown in. Meaning I do believe in, and it's a hard balance because there are things that should be shamed or pushed out of the way in different ways. I do find the board game space is a little bit more cautious around what they're comfortable with, and I wish it was a bit more open, but I also respect and understand that there are reasons to be mindful, so it's a very complicated subject that I don't want to heavily dive into, but I guess that's one aspect I would touch upon. We have no one. Richard L. No one wants to live in Arkansas. That's fair. Stacey Everdell, the Board Game Garden. Hey Jenna. Yep. Hey Jenna. Swab me. We have a strong Orthodox community in Minneapolis. New mission: convince Meg, Amber, and Rena to move to Minneapolis. Good luck, Swab me. Stacey Everdell, the Board Game Garden is a wonderful place to hang out. Yes, it is. Austin Harris. Austin Harris! Looking to jump into Too Many Bones? Is your recommendation the core box over Undertow or New Player? Core box over Undertow or New Player? I'd go with Undertow. I think Undertow is a great place to start. Core box gives you more characters, which is the hard part. George, unemployed lawyer. Stacey Everdell, strong agree. Aaron Taylor, are you still excited about Six Siege? Yes, very much so. I am, but it's getting hard keeping up with little news of production. That is the problem. Board Game Garden, Alex, you are so awesome. Seriously, thank you. It's been crazy. Super grateful to this community for being so welcoming. Yes, can we please? Yes, we should. We should really try to find something. James Sullivan, seriously, OrcQuest. I don't know enough about OrcQuest to be compelled by it. It looks cool, just wasn't compelled enough by it. Shelf Up Gaming, no, it's different from Catch a Mechanic. Instead, the more you fail, I'm 7 minutes behind in chat, I'm sorry. The more you fail, the more you are buffed to be less likely to fail in the future. In games like Clueless May Die and Mind Management Shift System. So it's similar to a catch mechanic. You're just saying it's a catch mechanic against yourself, kind of, as opposed to the system. So, I don't know. Balance? It's interesting. Compensation? A good name for it. I don't know. The idea of it presently exists for sure. It's a good concept. Balance compensation? Something clever. I don't have any good ideas. Zalbao, Poncho Alex goes Tiwanuku. Tiwanuku would be great. That's a good point. Richard L. Shelf Up Gaming, wouldn't it be powering up? Duke of Fail, what do you think of the Pandemic system? I like the Pandemic system. My favorite implementation of it so far is Pandemic Legacy. Roland's Briadis, you ranking for Destinies right now? Are you the one who messaged me? Roland, are you the one who messaged me on Board Game Geek? Let me know if you are, because that would just save me answering. My ranking for Destinies right now is probably a 4 to 5. It has gone down for me to a degree, but it's not that it's gone down, it's that I found other games that do what Destinies does that don't require an app. And so that, to a certain extent, has pushed down Destinies. When I first played Destinies, it felt incredibly unique, and just the story, the way the story just branched out, I just loved what it did. And I still really enjoy it. I played it like, I don't know, 2 months ago, and I really enjoy what it does. I think it's excellent. But I like games like Roleplay Adventures more right now. And that does the same thing Destiny does without an app, and I do prefer not having an app. So it's still good. I still like it a lot. It's still not going anywhere, but it's probably a 4, maybe a 4.5 to 5, but it's hard to really say because I'd probably instinctively say a 4. Matis, what would you suggest to get from Marvel United for someone who has never played it? Upcoming Kickstarter, core from first to second Kickstarters. Just get the upcoming Kickstarter core pledge and nothing else. Unless you want to spend more, but that's not what I'm recommending. James Hugh, which convention is the best one for board games? That depends on what you want. Do you want board games, or do you want like booths, or do you want playing? If you want playing, go to a convention like Dice Tower West, or any of these other ones, Dice Tower East, whatever. If you want a convention for just like seeing just a ton of stuff, Gen Con is definitely going to be a good pick to go to. Laurie Harris, Everdell vs. Endless Winter, who win? I mean, that's totally different games to me. The feeling of those are totally different. But I would pick Everdell. I love Everdell. Daniel Stove, what's your favorite solo-only board games that aren't huge campaigns, smaller solo-only games that are easy to get into? I want to get some more of them. I like the Oniverse series a lot. My favorite one of those is probably Cassion, but I like them a lot, the general Oniverse. I like Under Falling Skies a lot. I like Friday a lot. There's a lot of good games out there that are smaller box games that are not heavy, ridiculous campaigns. Spirit Island is a bit more than what you're asking for, but still pretty good. I mean, it's amazing. It's just a bit heavier. Frank Gallifrew, how's the job with GameFan going? Has it been hard to juggle both jobs, the channel being the other one? Frank, it's definitely hard to juggle anything multiple ways, but I would say that for the most part, it's been going pretty well. I really enjoy talking to creators. I mentioned this was asked earlier in the call. I really enjoy talking to other, designers and publishers in the space, and have a lot of fun doing that. And there's a lot of doubling up. You go to a convention, and I'm both being Board Game Co. content creator, and I'm talking to people about their upcoming projects. So I get to do both. Juggling things is always hard. It's just the nature of reality of trying to make sure you can do as many things as possible, and it is like I went to kind of full-time content creation and then to GameFound, but for the most part I'm able to keep up and be on top of both things. But yeah, it's occasional. I would say there's been like streaming issues where I can't always stream when I want because I'm on lots more calls and meetings these days. George, Shelf Help Gaming, that is a catch mechanic, just not named as such, making it easier to win after failing is like catching a person up. Board Game Garden, also hello Stacey Everdell. Matis, Arnak vs. Dune vs. Endless Winter. I already covered that a while ago, but I will be doing a new one covering with all the expansions, because expansions definitely changed my opinion of it. Roland Breedis, your thoughts of Mage Knight 2023? Is there a Mage Knight 2023? Did I not know about this? Or do you mean my thoughts of Mage Knight in 2023? I don't know the question there. The Duke of Fall, what do you keep looking at? When? It depends on what you're asking. There are times where I'm looking at my collection. Like when I get asked a question about a game, I'm often looking off into the distance to see the shelves. Is that what you're referring to? I don't know what else I could be looking. I'm frequently looking around the room when people ask me questions about games, if that's your question. George. Matis Mafis, video coming with Megan, Alex, Devin, soonish. True Money, thank you for the response. I very much appreciate it. Love the content. Zalbao, do you expect a total revamp of Super Fantasy Brawl for that license changing hands, or just new ads with the base game, just getting a new logo? I would not expect a total revamp. Otherwise, what's the point of taking on that instead of doing something new? I would expect just new add-ons and maybe new logo and stuff like that. Austin Harris, awesome. Thanks, Alex. Your Too Many Bones content was a big contributor to me wanting to dive in. Too Many Bones is fantastic. I love it. Zifesso, Alex, what are your thoughts on Scout? I've heard that the 3-player isn't great and that's mostly good at 4-player. I only played it at 5-player. I enjoyed it. I never picked it up though. TT4 Life, quickly favorite deck building games. Let's say top 5 off the top of your head. Off the top of my head, so don't hold me to this, is Dominion, Quest for El Dorado, Mage Knight. I'm going to count this as a deck builder for this conversation. Off the top of my head is failing quickly. I mean, I have so many deck builders. What else do I have? I have so many. I can't do off the top of my head. Shards of Infinity, we're just going to say that, but it's not actually my favorite there. It's a good one. I don't remember what I have. I'm blanking. I don't know. Deck builders. I'm sorry. Dominion, Quest for El Dorado, Endless Winter, Lost Ruins of Arnak, Dune Imperium. There we go. Problem solved. Matis, have you considered doing top 100 or something board game publishers and our designers and our artists? That would be a lot. I find top 10 publishers, artists, and designers, they don't do quite as well. So I'm definitely not doing a top 100. Nidamir, Karma mechanic. That's cute. I like the idea of Karma. Zalabao, loving the solo live chat. It's been missed. They will be back. There will be more live solo chats. These are just going to be less frequent. They're going to be like whenever Devin or Meg can't make it, I'll probably do a solo chat unless it's more frequent, in which case then we'll just do whatever. But expect them maybe once a month, once every 2 months. We'll see. Zatan, how beat up is your copy of Castle Burgundy? Or is it still mint? It's pretty decent condition. I have a lot of games that are beat up. That one has survived pretty decently. Duke of All, what's the one thing that bothers you most about your favorite games? Terraforming Mars. The thing that bothers me the most about Terraforming Mars, let's do the top 3 games. What's my third favorite game of all time? Oh, I got it. Okay, cool. The thing that bothers me most about Terraforming Mars is that most of the expansions I don't like. I still own them, but I don't think they add to the game. I love Prelude. I haven't played Venus Next. The rest of them, I think they add too much downtime or complexity and don't make the game better enough. So that's my least favorite thing about Terraforming Mars. About Cthulhu Death May Die, my least favorite thing is the scenario inconsistency. Some scenarios are incredible and amazing and I love them, and other scenarios are tolerably okay. So I don't love that aspect. And then for Gloomhaven, my least favorite thing is that playing the game non-digitally has a ton of setup and teardown and management between scenarios. I need to wrap this up. We were closing out this way too long. Aru, hi from Venezuela. Love the channel, enjoy reviews. Just wanted to know if I should get Ice of Vanguard or Oathsworn. Really like both and got Cthulhu Death May Die after checking it out here and I adore it. If you like Cthulhu Death May Die as your baseline, I'd recommend Oathsworn first. They are very different. I think Oathsworn has significantly better combat mechanics, and I think Ice of Vanguard has a more engaging story, although both are good. So it's a hard question to answer because they are different, but based on liking Cthulhu Death May Die, my first recommendation would be Oathsworn. Board Game Garden. I keep on getting recommended Under Falling Skies. I like it a lot. I don't play it as much as I used to when I first got it, but I still go back to it. Sasuke G. Whenever I see app-driven games, my mind automatically goes nope. I instinctively lean towards nope, but I'm always open to trying things, and I have enjoyed some. Unemployed Lawyer, juggling things is always hard. Alex, while juggling actual knives. That's true. Sean Marks, have you ever gotten to test the Vampire Masquerade? I have not yet, but I will be. Daniel Stostov, I've mentioned Under Falling Skies for a while now. Maybe I should go ahead and just grab it already. It's not expensive either. I recommend it. It's a great solo game. Matis, which game has the best minis in your opinion? Probably something from Mythic Games. I think the minis are fantastic. I thought Six Siege was incredible, although I obviously only had a production copy, and that's not even a genre of minis that I like, so it's even better in that sense. Massive Darkness also has fantastic minis, both the new and the old one. Lots of great games. Nidamira, low battery and headphones. Time to say bye-bye. That's okay, Nidamira. I'm wrapping through the last few comments and then closing this up. Sean Marks, have you looked to try the crazy huge community set for Terraforming Mars? What's the huge community set for Terraforming Mars? I want to know more. Laurie Harris, Ice Vanguard or Roleplay Adventures versus Sleeping Gods. Ooh, that's so hard. So until I play Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, I'm going to eliminate that one. I would say Ice Vanguard versus Roleplay Adventures. I find Roleplay Adventures very charming. I think Ice Vanguard is probably better. They're both very, very good, though. Duke of All, about how much total measurable distance did Forrest Gump run in the film? I don't know the answer to that. Matis, love the podcast you did. Are you considering restarting that project? Probably not that one. Would love to in theory, but also just time. Time. Richard L. Oh no, he's catching up. Yes, I am. Daniel Stoves, do you play the campaign of Under Falling Skies? How good is that? I started the campaign. I didn't finish it. I like that it adds new stuff, but it's not necessarily better. It just adds more content, which is good. Rolling Redis, why leaning from app implemented in board games? I'm not entirely sure what the question is. Ol Norin, love from Sweden, have a great one. Gonna go away for the Marvel Knight Kickstarter to start now? Yes, it's starting soon. Devin Talks Tabletop, we must keep commenting. Oh, Devin, go back to your video games. Devin Talks Tabletop, the more we comment, the less likely it is to stop. Ralvin's Highlights, have you played Reality Rising for Death May Die, and do you think it's worth the cost? I have not played it, but I can't imagine it's worth the cost. The Board Game Garden, what is your favorite cheese? I don't know if I have a favorite cheese. I mean, I like cheese. I just don't know if I have a favorite cheese. Duke of Fall, thanks for answering all my questions. Absolutely. Swebme, Alex, rank Devin's kids. Oh. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't believe... I will do that privately. I'm not going to do that on stream. I'm not going to publicly rank someone's kids, even my own kids, on stream. Devin Talks Tabletop. Oh yeah, totally rank my kids. You know how. Devin, I hate you so much right now. Cat Too Cool, what's your favorite solo game? Too many bones. Sasuke G, I had to forgo getting Oathsworn simply because I couldn't afford it. In Malaysia, paying for an all-in is like 4 times the cost of US dollars. Don't get the all-in for Oathsworn. The base game is totally fine. It gives you plenty. Board Game Garden, breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Dinner. Aru, thanks. Just one more question. Will you do a review of Darkest Dungeon board game? I will eventually, but it's probably not going to happen soon. Roland's Beatus, why not app in board games? I don't love the digital implementation within the board game universe. I find like when I play a game like, I don't know, Mansion of Madness, I don't like going back and forth between the screen and the board game. It's just not my jam quite as much. I'm totally fine with them existing, it's just not my jam. Nathan Morris, are you and Jesse still best friends? We're still friends. I don't know if I'd say we're best friends. We're still friends. Devin Talks Tabletop, how do you make your coffee? Oh, so I make my coffee using my espresso machine. It's can't remember the name of the brand of it, but you're going to go ahead, you're going to grab your milk from the fridge, you're going to put your, first you're going to grind your beans, start that process. Then once the beans are ground, you'll put your little thing in there and you'll start brewing the coffee. While the coffee's brewing, I go to the fridge, grab some milk, pour it into my container, put a little cream into my container. The coffee's now done, I put that out, I dump the beans, the grounds into the garbage, then I steam my milk for about 45 seconds or so until it's nice and hot, and then I pour it into my Ember mug, because of course I pour it into my Ember mug, clean up the remaining stuff, and I have a coffee. Zippresso, I know these are two different games, Scout or Long Shot the Dice Game? Scout. Sean Marks, Filleted Research, Terraforming Mars, Giant Community Update is called Giga Expansion. Thanks for live chats and answers. Absolutely. Thanks, I appreciate that. Lori Harris, will you be reviewing the Lands of Galzier? If they send it to me, yes. I didn't actually back it. The unemployed lawyer. Hi, Devin. At least here I have a wrench. You do have a wrench here, George. You do. Jeremy Alston, Random Bones or Too Many Bones? Too Many Bones. Rum Bones is fantastic, though. Sasuke G, Manchester Madness First Edition is gold. App free. Devin Talks Tabletop. Breville is the brand. Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that. Richard L, do not put your thing in there for anything that grinds things up. Wait. Oh. You're a mess, Richard. Patrick O'Neill, Undefined Skies is so fun. I got it for Christmas. I've played it twice now. Incredibly fun puzzle. Nathan Morris, Robinson Crusoe Collector's Edition, worth it. I haven't played it yet, so I can't answer that question. Duke of Fall, Espresso Breville sounds like a Disney villain. Espresso Breville, Espresso Breville. If nobody grinds it, then that machine will. The Board Game Garden, why is Hades Wall actually your favorite game of all time? It's not actually my favorite game of all time. It's your favorite game of all time, although it is amazing. It's so beautiful. I can't wait for an expansion. Roland's Breedis Clash of Cultures ranking. I love the original game, have not played the new one. Devin Talks Tabletop, why does everyone agree about how bad Terraforming Mars is? Us? I think the word you're looking for is is. You deleted your answer because you got the typo wrong, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream now. Thank you all. Appreciate all of you. Goodbye.